There's still time to support Jill Stein. I'll show you how to use your time to support her in this video. It's now or never to get on the ballot in New York. If we're on in New York, then we are unstoppable. We need every one of us to get out with a petition, with putboards, and to collect signatures. Everybody in New York who's a registered voter, we need you to do that. If you do that, we're on the ballot. And that means an anti-genocide choice is on the ballot. An anti-war choice is on the ballot. A healthcare as a human right choice is on the ballot. A housing we can afford choice is on the ballot. Ending student debt, bailing out the students, and making higher education free choice is on the ballot. We need all of that on the ballot. We need an end to empire on the ballot and an end to oligarchy on the ballot. And that's what we'll get. If everybody who hears this in New York or next to New York goes to New York with petitions in hand, then collects 10 to 20 signatures between now and Saturday. After that, we got the tournament. We are not part of the endless war machine, part of the Wall Street machine that will get on the ballot. They'll be grandfathered in because that's what the machine is intended to do. We are not RFK with limitless deep pockets who can buy his way onto the ballot. Now, we are a people-powered campaign. So we need people power here so that we can be sure that a people's agenda for peace, justice, climate survival, and an end to genocide is on the ballot right now when we need it, because we're in a state of emergency on all fronts. And yes, I think Donald Trump would be a really scary president. And yes, I think that Joe Biden is a really scary president. I think fascism is here right now. We're seeing it rolling out on our campuses and around the country. There is no greater trademark of fascism than genocide. I think we've got that now. That solution to fascism is democracy. It's not the suppression of our political views in our political debates. We have to stand up and assert our democracy. If people are concerned about vote splitting, which I must say is not supported by the facts suggest that nearly 2/3 of our votes are coming from people who otherwise won't vote. And right now, that is off the charts. If you look at, for example, the New York State Democratic primary, there was a 12% so-called uncommitted, but there was an 83% no-show, 83% relative to the numbers who came out for Joe Biden in 2020. Now they are basically voting with their feet. So we need to seize the moment here because we're all kind of going over the cliff right now. Please come to New York and help us gather signatures for our petition so we can be on the ballot. New York is empire's last stand to try to keep us off the ballot, to try to squash their competition, especially their anti-war, anti-genocide competition, because we are the only anti-genocide campaign that is on track to fight the empire across the country in this election. If we're not on the ballot in New York, they will say we're not a full-bore campaign, and we won't be a full-bore campaign, and we'll be sidelined. And there will be no challenge. There will be 3 pro-genocide, pro-war, anti-worker campaigns on the ballot. So please, please, we are close, but we need a margin of safety because they have their army of lawyers. They will be trying to remove every name from the petition that they possibly can. And we need you to come and help us and carry petitions. If you can come for a day or 2 days, we badly, badly need your help. We need 45,000 signatures from registered voters. So I'm going to make a quick video here to show you how to get connected if you aren't already and what you need to know about getting signatures for Jill so that she can appear on the ballot in New York State. So the first thing is if you go to gpny.org, that's the Green Party New York website, you'll find here a link to petition information. Click here. If you click on that, it takes you to a landing page with a lot of important information about this ballot access drive. The first thing to do, if you haven't already, is to please fill out the volunteer form. This will make sure that the Great Party of New York has your information. They can get in touch with you. They know where you are. You can figure out what congressional district you are in by looking that up. That would be very helpful if you can provide that information. If you can collect a certain number of signatures, that would be great. So you can print out this petition at home. If you are a New York voter, registered voter, you can collect signatures. You need to be a registered voter. You can get a copy of the petition right here. If you are a out-of-state registered voter, you can collect signatures in New York State, still have to be a person who would be eligible to vote if you lived in New York. and you need a different petition form. So if you are coming from out of state to help in New York, please get in touch with the Green Party of New York by filling out that form. And when they reach out to you, you can get the form you need as an out-of-state petitioner. So now I'm going to go over the petition. This is what it looks like. You can download this and print it from home or make copies at a local print shop. You will need a lot of these because there are only 5 signatures per page. This is the petition we need to submit to get Jill on the ballot. It has the information. Gloria is not the official vice president pick, but she's a stand-in. It was legally required to have that on the form, but that's fine. It's okay. So what you do, get a clipboard, figure out where you want to go to collect petitions. We recommend protests. Right now are a great place to collect signatures. Gaza protests, a lot of people there willing to sign. We are also going to try and provide more guidance through the WhatsApp group, or you can find crowded events near you. Wherever there's a lot of people, it's a good place to go. Once you have your clipboard and you have a bunch of petition sheets, this is what you do. You put in the date that you're collecting the signature here, and then here there's 2 lines for each signer. They can sign above in this line and then print their name very neatly, or you can, in the space below their signature. Here's where they put their street address, where they are registered to vote. That should be, number, street, town, state, and zip. Now, in the right here, this column is a little tricky, and it's important that we get this right. If the voter is upstate, what we really need is the legal town that they live in. And so sometimes people live in villages that are part of a town. What really we want to put here is the legal town that they live in. And if you put in the address into Google, you can figure out exactly what town that is in. Now, if they're in New York City, they want to list the county that the signer is in. So Bronx is Bronx County, Manhattan is New York County, Queens is Queens County, Brooklyn is Kings County, and Staten Island is Richmond County. That's what you put here if the person signing is a New York City resident. Put their full address here and the county in that last column. So really that's it in terms of how you collect these signatures. You need a good opening line, something like, could you help me with a signature? I'm trying to get Jill Stein on the ballot. Make sure they're a New York voter. Fill up these pages. At the bottom here, print your name very neatly. You are the witness. That's your title. If you live in New York, you will put your residence, your address here in this space. The out-of-state petition form doesn't require your address. Leave the address blank on that other form because it's going to be filled in with a single address on all those sheets where the subpoenas will be mailed. That becomes clear on the other sheet. But on this sheet, if you're a New York volunteer collecting signatures, put your address there and put the number of signatures on the page. Hopefully, most sheets will have 5 signatures on them. Here, you will date and sign. Touch base with the Green Party of New York, and you will be put in touch with a lead who will guide you, depending on where you are. You will need to date and sign each one of your sheets. At the bottom, witness identification and information. Again, you are the witness. Put the town or city and county that you live in, but leave the sheet number blank. Just leave that blank because the Green Party of New York will fill that information in later, and they will also coordinate with you about how to meet with you to get these petitions from you. Ideally, they can be handed off in person, and they will try to make arrangements to do that because sending them in the mail can be a little risky. We don't want to lose any of these, but as a last resort, we may have to, we will accept them by mail, better mail than nothing. If you have any questions, I encourage you to reach out to Gloria Natera. She's the co-chair of the Green Party of New York. If you reach out to her by email, she will answer any follow-up questions that you have. So, guys, let's do this. Let's get out there and get Jill on the ballot in New York. Thank you so much for your support.